Okay, so today we're going to go over exponents. Um, I'm going to talk about what a base is when it comes to an exponent, what the exponent itself is. We're going to be talking about exponential form. We're also going to um, cover some of the things that you would use exponents in the real world. You know, some of you may be thinking, why should I learn about exponents? Who cares about it? It's silly. But it's not. If you take a loan out or you um, invest in something, there's a good chance that it's going to be compounded um, every month, and this is what we call compound interest. Okay. Now, basically, say you take out a loan. Okay. Um, so here we are. You're going to take out a loan, and say that you take out a loan of $10,000. Okay. So there's $10,000. Right? And this is what we call the principal, okay? Now I know this may be boring you already, but there's a point to me showing you this, okay? And that is that you're going to be able to see that math such as exponents are used in the real world, okay? So after you pay off the loan, or if you made an investment, after that investment has been paid back to you, right? You've received income from that investment. Um, that is represented as an A, right? Uh, in the compound interest formula, okay? A equals amount. Okay, so then you're gonna talk about um, how many times it's going to be compounded in a year. So it could be compounded monthly, it could be compounded bi-monthly, but let's just say it's monthly, okay? And that is represented in the formula as n, and is times compounded. Okay? And then there's a t in the formula as well, and that right there is the amount of years, okay? Okay. So again, A stands for amount of income received, or amount of um, of interest paid, right? Like so. Okay. So how is this formula written? Well, it's like this. Okay, so we have A is going to equal the principal, P, times 1 plus, oh, I forgot about this one, rate. Rate divided by n to the power of nt, okay? So rate, that is the amount of interest, right? So you have a 5% rate or a 10% rate, right? It's rate. Okay, so in this case, we took out 10,000, right? And we're going to say it's a loan. So we have a loan of 10,000, okay? All right. And then let's say that we have a rate of 5%, okay? So 5%, no, 5% is this, right? 5% is 5 divided by 100. That's what 5% means, okay? So 5 divided by 100, what does that equal? Well, when we divide by 100, any number, we're going to go back to spots. 1, 2. All right, our decimal goes here. It was there. Let me put a 0 there. So it's going to be 0.05, okay? And then n, we're going to say that it's monthly. It's compounded monthly, so there's 12 months in a year, okay? And then n up here is going to be 12 again. Now let's just say that you take 20 years to pay off a loan of $10,000, all right? You know, pretty steep, but let's say it happens, okay? So you got 20 right here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of this stuff that's in the parentheses, okay? So when we take care of that, first what we're going to do is we're going to do 0.05 divided by 12, okay? So some of you may want to do this in your head or on paper, but to save time, I'm going to do it on a calculator, okay? All right, and then we're going to plus it by 1, and after we plus it by 1, it's going to equal this, 1.004, okay, 1. I'm just going to make that a 2, because over here would be 6's, and I don't want to put those down. So we're just going to say it's that much, all right? Then we're going to times these together and put it here. So 12 times 2 is what? That's 24, and then we take the 0, so it's 240. Okay? And let's put the 10,000 right here. Okay. So this is what we have. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to do the exponent, okay? I'm going to go over this later in other films about order of operation. Basically, in order of operation, you need to do parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication, and then division, and then addition, and then subtraction, okay? So anyway, we're going to do this to the power of this, okay? So I'll do that real quick on my calculator. And that makes this right here 2.7126. I'm going to stop there, okay? 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And all that is times by 10,000. Okay, so let's times that by 10,000. So if, by chance, you took out a loan of $10,000, school loan or something, right? And you take your time to pay it back, and it's a compounded monthly, and it's a 5% rate, right? And it takes you 20 years to do it. Well, then you're going to pay at the end of that, you're going to pay $27,126.40. Okay. So what does that represent? Well, that means that of the $10,000 that you borrowed, right? Let's forget about this decimal for right now. I don't care about it. You have paid the person that gave you that loan, or the investor, right? They've invested in you. You've paid them $17,000. So this is just a key thing when it comes to exponents, okay? Key thing to understand, because if you understand exponents, when you go take out a loan, you can ask, is it compounded monthly? And what's your percent, all right? What's your rate, I meant to say. And then if it's 5% and it's compounded monthly and you don't think you're going to pay it back in a short amount of time, then count on yourself paying quite a bit of money, okay? So anyway, that is that is an example of a real world application of the exponent. Okay, so now let's take a look at an exponent. Okay, so we have something like 2. Okay, and then the exponent is 6. Okay, well, this is called the exponent. Okay, and this right here is called the base. And all of this combined, right, is called the exponential form, right? exponential form. Okay. So, what is the point of this, right? What does this do? What does this mean? Okay. Well, what it means is when you have an exponent above a base, right? What it's saying is that you're going to take this 2 and you're going to multiply it by itself, right? 6 times. Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times, oops, times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And then you're just going to times them together. Now, when you get into really high numbers, you know, something power to the 20th power, you're going to have to use a calculator, or it's going to take a really long time. But this isn't too bad, right? So we have 4. Now let's start down here, actually. 4, and then these 2, right? And then we bring this down this 2, and that makes an 8. And then we bring down this 2, right? And what does that make? That makes 16, right? And then we're going to times that by 2 because we're going to bring down this 2 right here, right? And that's going to make 32. And then if we bring down this 2, that's going to equal 64. Okay? And that's pretty much what it's saying. Just take the base and multiply it by itself however many times this number says. So if it was 10, it'd be another 4 2's. If it was 4, you'd take away 2 2's. Okay? And that's pretty much what an exponent is. And this is called exponential form. Okay? All right. So we're going to stop here for a second, and then we're going to make another video about what are some properties of exponential form. Okay? All right.